Hello, let's use a network device to create a real probe with ping functionality. So I already have two templates assigned. So this is a template for remote ping, and it is dedicated for Cisco devices. And as you can see here, it's checking the DNS connection using the ping command. And we can go to one of them, and let's see the statistics. So here you can see package loss and response time. So this template is actually logging into SSH to the device and is checking ping command and is gathering all of the string data, and it is combining them to numeric value as well as the string value. So you can see that SolarWinds is actually checking those strings for numeric values that it can use to create charts and other statistics. So you can use it to create average values, maximum values, minimum values, and so on. So that's great because you can actually create a remote ping to a location where you don't have any other means of executing ping function, ping command. So from here we can see that we are pinging our DNS, and we have quite a lot of latency. We can also check our second location, and the second location currently has critical status, and we can see that the package loss is 100%. So currently this template is in a critical state, but you can change the behavior within the template if you want, for example, to have it as a down status. So this is great functionality for anyone that has a remote location with only a network device. You can actually use this network device as a probe to check how the latency works, how the connection works, and if the remote location is actually working. Apart from Cisco, I have prepared a few other templates. So we can go to settings or settings. And from here, we can go to some settings, manage templates. And here, when I type remote, I have already prepared dedicated templates for Cisco, FortiGate, Juniper, and MikroTik. Those are tested on a few different models, so I think you won't have any issues. But if you do, please let me know in the comments and I will assist you. So before we were able to do a remote ping, however, those templates were limited to Linux and Windows Server operating systems. So if you would have a server on the remote location, then you could use those templates. However, if you have only a network device, then unfortunately those are not compatible. And you can find those templates in the link in the description, as well as on Thwack forum in SolarWinds. So let's see how exactly they are built. So I can choose my Cisco template. You can see it is already assigned to those two routers. And it's a Windows PowerShell monitor. And this can be a bit confusing for people that are not familiar with some templates, because for PowerShell monitor, we can actually execute it locally. So you can have two options here. You have a local host or remote host. Remote host basically means that the script will be running remotely on the Windows server that you are monitoring using SolarWinds. However, localhost is actually executing the script locally on the SolarWinds server. So because of that, we are not limited to the network device and what we can actually run on it. However, we can use the script and do anything that we want locally and simply inject it to the network device. So we have a script argument. You can see here that we have a dynamic value IP. So this is basically gathering the IP address of the network device to which we assigned some template. And the second argument is the IP address that you want to ping remotely. So for me, I have used the Google DNS. So I'm actually checking if I have a network internet connection, if I have internet connection to from a dedicated site. So I can copy the script and see how exactly it is built. So first, there is a requirement. You actually need to use the Posh-SSH library. It is available on PowerShell Gallery. So you can download it manually if you don't have internet access on the server. However, it would be much easier to use it from the internet. So what you need to do is open Windows PowerShell and simply copy paste this command. I already have this library, so nothing will happen. However, if you don't have it, then you will receive a prompt to access external repository. However, it is a Microsoft repository, it's official, you don't need to worry. And once you install it on the SolarWinds server, you will have access to SSH terminal using command line. So let's see how it is built. So we have a few cleanups at the beginning, just in case. And we have a dedicated function that will allow us to use SSH credentials to the network device. And how exactly it's working? So here you can see there is a get credential. So basically it's a prompt from the PowerShell. However, how it is actually used. So in the template, you see that I have credential for monitoring router X. And this is the credential that I needed to save in SolarWinds. So you can save it yourself here in settings or settings and some settings. So we are actually going to the configuration of the SAM application module. So if you only have the network performance monitor, NPM, for monitoring your network devices, then unfortunately you will not able to use this template. You actually need to use the application module to monitor remote ping on the network devices. So that's how it works. This is the only way to monitor something using script. So from here you have credential library, and you need to create new credential. So from here, you don't actually see that those will be used for SSH connection. However, that's how it will work. So you will then assign this new credential to the SAM template. And afterwards, once you assign the template, it will automatically be visible for the SolarWinds, and SolarWinds will use it to log into the server. I'm sorry, to the network device. Okay. So once we have credentials set and ready, what we need to do is to gather arguments. So here we are gathering the device IP address and the destination. And the way how the script is handling the destination, you can actually use IP address, hostname, FQDN, or DNS. And we are creating new terminal session. And I noticed that sometimes you can actually see a timed out from this command. So just in case, I included an if statement. If there is a timeout, then try again. And next, we will send a command, the ping command. So it is a simple command, ping and destination. So you can actually include here more parameters like number of ping messages or anything like that. So you can do that here. And during my tests, I noticed that sometimes the output can be in two different places. So first, I'm redirecting the output to the output value. However, after waiting around 10 seconds, I'm doing the same to the outputs too from the string of the terminal. And afterwards, I'm combining them to just one output. So just in case, if I will miss the result of the ping, I'm waiting a little bit and gathering again. Especially if I will receive a timeout or the DNS would not resolve. So that's very important. So depending on your environment, you might adjust it a little bit. However, I have tested in a few different devices and it was working fine. So just in case, if you need something to change, that will be a good way to start. And afterwards, we are logging out from the device. And the next thing that we need to do is to find certain values from the string that we receive from the SSH terminal. So I'm checking each row individually from the output, and I'm looking for a common string, like for example success rate in Cisco or package loss, and those are being handled using char characters and searches for numeric values. And there is also an additional exception for pinging DNS without resolution. So that, for example, would be unrecognized host for Cisco. For other templates, that would be a bit different. That's why I needed to create few different templates for different vendors. And as you can see here, I'm overwriting the status of the application. So for example, if the DNS is not working, then I'm overwriting that to unknown status. You can overwrite it to a different value. So you actually have here, let me grab some exit codes. So I will have this link also in the description, and you can use a different exit codes. So for example, you can have an exit code down, or warning, or critical. So depending on your needs, you can change that. And afterwards, once we found all of the numeric values as well as string values, then we can present them to SolarWinds using write host and message and statistic. I will also put in the description the documentation how exactly it is built. This is a requirement from SolarWinds that for each numeric value, you need to have a string value. So that's why you have message and statistic. So here we have package loss for both values. This one will be numeric value, and this is a string value. And there is also additional if statement. So if you override the exit code, then it is simply exiting the script with a different exit code. So very powerful script, not too long. However, you can use it to monitor anything you like. It can be an external IP address, it can be internal IP address, any kind of server or service that you need to ping, or DNS. If it's a DNS, then if you have, for example, load balancers or any kind of other DNS servers that you need to see if they are working remotely from a different location, then I believe this will be a great addition for you. So just to see it again, here, application details. This is how it looks with package loss. So 100% package loss. We already have error messages here that something is wrong. And for a fully working example, you can see here that the response time has its minimum and maximum values. It is an external IP address, that's why you can see that the value can be a bit different depending on the time when it is being executed. However, if you would ping an internal IP address, I believe that the network will be much stable. So I believe that you would have a static line more than what you see here. However, this is a great example to see how exactly the chart is working. And we have a value of response time 31 milliseconds, and here we have a string. This is the string directly copied from the terminal output. And depending on the template, you will see a bit different string depending on the vendor. However, the values, the numeric values, will be the same. And in the description, I will have a link to all 4 templates. So you will see the settings, all settings, some settings, manage templates. And here you will be able to download remote ping Cisco, Juniper, Forti, and MikroTik. If you want, if you need a template for a different vendor, please let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to create a new template for you for a different vendor. So yeah, and once you download the template, you can simply import it using import export and import. It will be an XML file, so very easy to import, and you can assign them to your dedicated network devices. So thanks a lot for listening, and see you next time.